Hey, good evening, everybody. What is going on? Hope everybody's well. Jumping on tonight to do a little recap of my trip to North Texas, RPG Con. I was going to make a video about it, but it doesn't do anything. It's not a video that people are going to be like, oh, we got to click on that. So I figured best to do it live, and that way I can talk and people can ask questions, and then go from there. If you're brand new to the channel, by the way, thanks for coming in, hanging out, being here for a little bit. If you enjoy content about world building, DM tips, old school type stuff, old school gaming, then hey, this might be the channel for you. Go ahead and click subscribe and check it out. Lots of videos here, lots going on. And so as we are waiting, we're going to have some folks coming in here. Excuse me, I got an itchy nose here. The North Texas RPG Con. This was my second time going there, and I have to say, it was even better than the first time. And already people jumping in. Hello, Michael. Good to see you. It was even better than the first time. I would even go so far as to say it was sublime. It was really just a really cool week. Not a week, but 4 days, 5 days. Let's see, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 3 great days. I wish I had the time to stay for like the whole thing. And just, on Sunday, there's not a ton going on. There's some games going on in the morning. I wish I could get there on Wednesday because of work and whatnot. But there's other things. Good evening, Mr. Rob Connolly. Good to see you. And so I just want to share my adventures with you guys tonight if I can, and just share a little bit about what was happening, what was going on, and we'll go from there. So, and if you've been to the con, please let me know either in the chat or down in the comments. Would love to get your feedback too. And there's people I've discovered who are gamers who don't know anything about. I just saw it on Twitter the other day. Somebody who was into old school gaming said they had never heard. They live in North Texas. They live like 30 minutes or something, or an hour away from the hotel, and had never heard of North Texas RPG Con. So I was like, crazy, right? That people, you live there and you don't know. But you know what? Not everybody knows. Let me just share just a couple things that I want to share with you. I just put out a new resource for Dungeon Masters. And this is one of the things I did at North Texas. I said, I didn't take a ton of pictures because I just wanted to be in the moment, right? I could go there as somebody who has a YouTube channel and create content. I just didn't want to do that. That felt like work. And I wasn't there to go to work. I was there to enjoy just gaming, just being a part. So I took a few pictures, but as a part of that, I also said, something I'm going to do is observe how DMs run their game. And that's not work for me. It's a joy to do because I want to learn. I want to learn something. And there was a lot of little things that people did that I thought were, oh, okay, that was a cool little part there. That was a cool little thing they did. And so I took notes, all those kind of things. And one of the things I did when I got back, and I took notes there, I came up with like 15 skills that I think a DM really needs to work on. If you're self-aware enough to say, hey, I'm running a game and I want it to be good, well, I think there's 15 skills that DMs have to really be aware of. You don't have to be great at everything. In fact, I'm definitely sure DMs are not going to get it all correct every game. We're going to miss something. We just will. And the point of this, let me show it to you. The point of this, it's called the DM diagnostic, and it's simply 15 skills that it's just like a little quiz. I say a quiz, right? It has a skill and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you say, okay, how did I do it? Something you can do after every session for yourself. Say, okay, how did I do here? How did I do here? How could I correct this? And I'm hyper aware during my DM sessions because I'm both in the moment with the players and I'm also thinking about how I'm running the game to make sure I'm on track with doing some things. And that's not a burden. That's simply the price of wanting or desiring to want to run a good game. And so if you're interested in this, like I said, there's 15 of them. And I put in there a player sheet that if you are so bold or so brave to give it to players and say, hey, would you be willing to give me feedback based on these 15 skills? And let's see here. I'll put it down in the chat. It'll be down in the, it'll also be down in the comments. And you can pick it up for yourself, see if it's something for you. Oh, look at this. We got all kinds of people jumping in here. Rob, jealous maybe next year. Hopefully, Rob. Love to see you there. North Texas Con is a myth perpetrated by the Kriashu Milan. That is 100% true. That's 100% true, Chubby Funster. You know, that's just what we do here in Kriash. We create these things. And this is important that we say this, Chubby, because the more popular this thing becomes, we have to work harder than to buy our ticket because they only let about 500 people register. So we really, if you're watching this, we don't really want you to go to North Texas. We just want you to be aware of it. In fact, it's not really real. So just be aware that it's not real. And you should definitely not Google it or anything like that. And then skills, burn your OSR card. That's fine. That's fine. We're not talking about skills. We're not talking about like skills, like play, like character skills. We're talking about DM skills. That's what we're talking about. Should you not have skills? I think we should have skills. That's what I think. I think we should be good at what we do. That's at least what I think. But then again, I'm way different. It's fine. Let's see. Okay, so that exists. Just let you know, my latest talking to Rob Connolly here. This is my latest Crit Happens, Village of Skyreach, Hexcrawl of Horror. It is a full system agnostic setting, a city, lots of things going on in it, lots of rumors, lots of things. You can just drop it right into your table if that is something you desire. Once again, links will be down below, and I'll probably drop a link in there later. And of course, you can always get it as part of the Hexcrawl bundle, which is like right now, probably 8 or 9 zines. You can get it over on Drive-Thru, and I shall put those links in the chat as well. Here is for the, I'll put that right now. I'll put that in the, let's see. Okay, I'll put that over there in the chat, should you want the bundle. And you can, while you're there, you can always just get the single zine. Okay? All right, so let's go into, okay, well, we got all kinds of people showing up here. Let's see. Yeah, yes, I rolled bad with Rob. What can I tell you? It's going to be, I rolled at disadvantage. Clearly, I rolled at disadvantage, Michael. That's how that goes. On a more serious note, the excellent way to do this kind of thing, observe and then write it up. Yes, thank you. And because I want to get better, I just want to be a better DM. That's just me. I wrote it. I always write things with me in mind as far as a critical note because I'm critical of myself. So I want to make sure that I'm doing things well. And the best way for me to do that sometimes is just to write the skills out that I want to be really good at least to the best of my ability, and then, you know, grade myself on it, or at least look at it and say, how did I do this? How did I do that without being whatever, right? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Michael. You need to make, Lord Mattias. Hello, Lord Mattias. And I'll get into name shout-outs here in a little while. You need to make picking up a badge as a New Year's resolution to make sure you get in. Well, by the way, tomorrow night, Eric Tenkar on Tenkar's Tavern, Gary Oliver is going to be on there about I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, that the tickets for next year go on sale in July. But there's going to be something new for next year, which I don't know what that is. Gary Oliver is going to share that tomorrow night on live on the Tavern. So be sure to go check out that when they go live tomorrow night. I think 7 o'clock Eastern. So check that out and see, because that's, you know, July is when you start getting your tickets, and I think you got to do it. I think you got to do it. I just pulled my strings, used my star power to get a badge. Can everyone do that? No, they cannot. And I'm sure you had words with Miss Kelsey Dion, and she probably helped you there as well, right? That's what I would do. I would say for sure. Okay. Yeah, Lord Matt is big in Japan. That's right, aren't we all? Right? As the for me, it's the old phrase, the old saying, "A prophet is not welcome in his own town." So we have to be big in Japan, right? All right, so let's go on with the show here. Just go on just a few things. Like I said, I did not do a bunch of pictures, a bunch of things. It wasn't working. I will show you just a couple of things. So the first game, first day, there's me right there in my old Doom shirt. Those are available, by the way. You can get your own Bring the Doom shirt, which I will tell you, Matt Sherman, who's a fan of the channel, we appreciate Matt, he was wearing the same shirt. So we didn't take a picture. We should have taken a picture of us together wearing the shirt, but how much fun is that? And then I had the joy of being able to sign his zine, which is just fantastic. That's just a great joy for me. I deserve nothing, but Matt is super kind and great member of the channel. But anyway, it was a fun day just showing up in my Doom shirt. Like I said, I'll drop a link in the description later. If you want to get a shirt, you can get that. But let me tell you, the first game I played, I'll just go through the game, go through the week, and you can ask questions as you go. I'll just kind of put you through there. Like I said, I met a lot of people, did things, but the first game I played was Tales of Argosa, which was a really good game. And I'm going to do, I got a video coming up about the 15 skills, a DM diagnostic. And then I'm going to do a video about whether or not I played a role-playing game or not at the con. So be ready for that. That may be my hot take. But Tales of Argosa was a really good game, run by a really good DM, and I wish I could remember all. I should have taken notes on all the DMs who ran. Besides the fact that this is a really cool DM screen, by the way, it looks like Castle Grayskull, I believe, and it was a roll under game, and also another video I'm going to do. There were character sheets. And the thing I liked about this particular game here is they gave you the rules. Now, not every game gave you that, and we'll talk about that in that video where I talk about I'll do a little review on the pre-gen sheets and what I think needs to go into pre-gen sheets. They were not bad. They needed a little bit more, especially for people who are new players, things like that. And these are con games. I understand that. And so, things kind of move kind of fast. But this was a really fun game. This was the lore is really good. The classes were really good. I believe I played an artificer who with a shotgun, basically. Well, not a shotgun, it was a rifle. And wound up doing some really cool stuff. There was these, they're not gnomes, but they are, I think he called them gaums. I want to say gaums. And anyway, there was these large hyena-headed skeletons, lots of fun stuff. And every table, by the way, every DM and every table was great. There was, you get to a con game, you don't know what you're going to get. But I can say for the ones that I chose, the game tables I was at, no question, phenomenal. Great DMs, great players, everybody got along. Had a lot of fun, lots of laughs at the table. And I already own Tales of Argosa. I have not read through it, but now that I've played it, I think I may explore that a little bit more. Maybe a game that I want to run. It was very good. Brett Norton, YouTubers, badges. We don't need no stinking badges. That's right. Or badgers, because Gary Oliver, if you didn't know that, the Gary Oliver who kind of runs the con, there was a running joke about badge. He had misspelled badges and called them badgers. And so now, stuffed badgers, stickers, things start falling onto the counter there. So that was a lot of fun to see that happen. And then, howdy, Paul. Looks like you survived the con without con crud. Make your con save. Well done. That's right. Unlike Chubby Funster, who failed his con crud, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, totally passed. Lots of hand washing and grace, I guess. But Tales of Argosa, totally recommend it. And I will put links to all the games in the description as well. If you want to check those out, you can go based on my recommendation if you want. Chubby said, I looked for Tim around North Texas, couldn't see him. He must have gotten lost in Comor Forest. Well, he didn't get lost in the Comor Forest. The Comor Forest ate him. That's what happens when you're in the Comor Forest. I'm going to say that what happened to Tim was carried away by zombies and was never seen again. How about that, Tim? That's what I think. That's a callback, by the way. Inside joke here. Yeah, you did fail your save. All right, so let's kind of move along. I'll go to the next game here. I played Savage Worlds. And these mats you see here, these are, I first saw these on Professor Dungeon Master's channel, and he had these cool mats on a circular, whatever that's called, that you put in the middle of the kitchen table where you can spin it around. Please tell me in the chat. I cannot, the name is not coming to my mind. But yeah, you can spin. That's the first time I've ever used one of these. I mean, I've wanted the mats, and wanted to maybe use this system, and it really worked really flawless. I was not taken out of the action at all because of the way it was described and what's going on. So I think it was really, really, really well executed, and it was just fun to do. It was fun to kind of move it around. Lazy Susan, thank you. It's a Lazy Susan, and they looked on the bottom. Now this is just a piece. What he showed us is a piece of not plywood, maybe a little bit lighter than that. And then you could buy a plastic piece to put under it. You can either buy a real Lazy Susan or you can just kind of kit bash it, right? Yeah, so all the people say Lazy Susan or a Hyper Betty. Okay, that's fine. Tim, you made that one up? I made that one up. So let me just show you the other pictures here. Savage Worlds. This one here, we're fighting these nasty gators. Let me tell you the scenario here, and I didn't tell you the scenario of the other one. It was basically go into a thing and get the MacGuffin for Tales of Argosa. This one here was us patrolling the wastelands. This is Savage Worlds, which I have not played in 15 years, or maybe longer. And it wasn't, I don't know why it never caught on with me and why I didn't never play it, but I liked it well enough. It's something I'm willing to explore. You only have so much time, so many brain cells, so much bandwidth in your brain, but it's something that I'm willing to at least reconsider looking at. But I liked playing, great DM, fun table, lots of jokes, lots of things going around here, but that's us fighting some of these nasty things. So we were patrolling the wasteland, making sure all the nasty little things. And then, of course, there was a nasty kind of, a nasty kind of Cthulhu tree. No, there was a Cthulhu tree. I don't know where the Cthulhu tree went, but there's a nasty Cthulhu tree. But the Savage Worlds, once again, was a good system. There was some. There was probably a little slow in the sense, very combat heavy. I say it's slow. It was combat heavy, right? There's the thing of, you have to ask yourself sometimes, you're playing both, by the way, but am I playing a role-playing game that has combat in it, or am I playing a combat game that happens to have some role-play in it? And I'm going to say that a lot of the games that I played at the con were combat games with role play in it. So that maybe give you a clue of kind of the direction I'll go in my video of whether or not I played role playing games or not. But that's kind of my thought on that. Let's see. Hello, Gary Lewis. Good to see you. Don't forget, Gary and Lord Mattias have First Watch Friday night, 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock? Yeah, 10 o'clock. I think on Fridays. And you can check their show out. It has good shows there. And then, let's see. So, yeah, Savage Worlds, I enjoyed it. It was a good game. And let's see, what else do we have here? Another game I played. That was the second game I played. The third game I played was a random pickup game. I saw it on the board. They have a board with all these, different things you can sign up for. And I was shocked to see that Glenn Hallstrom was running a game, and he was running Ghostbusters, and Eric Tenkar was in it, and Rachel was in it, and a few other people. And once again, it was a great game, a lot of fun. And this is us right here after we defeated the lots of fun NPCs in this. We ran into Dionysus, the god of wine and such. and we were basically all the ghosts were drinking up all the booze in the city. And Dionysus says, "Hey, you got to help, Ghostbusters. You got to help stop this." And so we wound up actually getting in our bread truck, Ecto One, or Ecto One bread truck, and going to Olympus to go do battle with, I think he said his sister, who is like the goddess of temperance, temperance. Excuse me. And that was a super fun game. That was fast. It was Glenn is a great DM, kept moving things along. Lots of fun rolls that we made, and overall a very good table. Lots of things going on that was fun. Let's see. And let's see. Gothard says, I find that as common formula at cons, combat heavy with peppering of RPing. Right. And if you I just want to say that if you say that, I mean, people come with different expectations to a con, right? So, and once again, you can, and I'll get to this in a minute, where there's one really super heavy role-playing game that I played, which may have been the best game I played all weekend. And, when you have RPG in the name, you're going to get various degrees of that. So was I disappointed? Not necessarily. I think everybody comes in with a certain perspective of, well, I thought we were going to play a role-playing game. Well, everybody's got a different definition of that, as I do, as many other people do. And you're going to get it in big things and small things, in small ways, right? And let's see. Who was talking? Oh, yeah. There's no lots of chat going on here. All right, so my other game after Ghostbusters, this was the game that I thought was super heavy on the role play. And that's a game I never played. By the way, all of these games, other than Savage Worlds, I had never played. I wanted to sign up for games I'd never played before. I wanted a different perspective. I wanted to see how GMs run these games. I wanted to get a sense of, how these things worked. But really, all you're looking at, there's no minis at the table. No marker, which a lot of these tables had these large, marker maps, gridded maps, for the play and all that. But for Vaesen, there was none of that. There was just me, two other guys, and the DM, which I thought was which is a blessing in the sense that I get to learn a system in a very small group. You can ask a lot of questions. You can talk things out, things like that. DM was a great DM, and it was a fun. It felt like what I thought it was going to be and what it turned into are two different things. What I thought it was going to be is we were going to go to this prince's mansion, do a symposium, and something was going to happen, right? Because we were part of this elite team of investigators. Well, we wound up getting snowed in at an inn. And it turned into something like the Hateful Eight, because now it's getting colder and colder. It's getting strangely cold. And the DIM kept emphasizing that it's getting still colder still. And you would have to make, these saves kind of to see whether or not you resisted the cold, which was Vaesens, which basically any kind of supernatural creature is considered Vaesen, I think. And you had to basically roll to do that. You had to talk to the other people there, which were all also invited to the symposium. There's, all kinds of cats running around that are suspicious. There's, so there's a lot of, it was very much a murder mystery in a lot of ways. Very Agatha Christie or, something like that, where you're just trapped in a place and now you got all these people you got to be concerned about because you don't know who's real, who's telling the truth. And wanted to be probably, I'll say, my favorite role-playing game of the week. I really enjoyed Vaesen. Now, can I run Vaesen? I don't know. Maybe. I'd have to look at it and decide, can I do it or whatever. I'm sure I can give it a try. But I, once again, just don't have enough bandwidth a lot of times to know everything. But it's something at least I'm willing to work, investigate, because that's the whole goal of me playing these new games is there something new I want to try, right? Let's see, what's the chat up to here? Gothard, very interested in Vaesen. Okay, All right. Matt Jackson, fan of Vaesen. Lots of Vaesen fans out there. Lord Mattias. I played Vaesen one shot last year. It's a neat game. It is. I agree. I would love to do a monthly episodic Vaesen game. Okay, count me in for that. I'd play once a month just to play a fun one-shot, type of game like that. Because I think it's once again I'd have to dig more into the system. And they had there's a book, I guess that's called Vaesen, that he had at the table. That's separate. I think if I say this correctly, the one of the guys, I guess the guy who invented the game or designed the game, there's a book in Sweden maybe that is called Vaesen that has all these myth, folklore, those kind of things, and it was a prop at the table. It was kind of something that Vaesen investigator groups would have. And so it was at the table, so we're all kind of looking at it and seeing what we can find. So it was really kind of a really neat prop at the table that you could have that's based on something, right? And yeah. There's also an art book. Okay, very nice. And so Vaesen also on my list of really fun games. Now, the last game that I played was called Horde Wars. And Horde Wars, I did not understand what this was. Now, going into it, let me just say this. In my mind, I'm thinking Horde Wars. Okay, maybe it's and I own the basic system. I didn't want to read any of this. I owned Tales of Argosa. I owned Horde Wars. I didn't want to read anything because I just wanted to be taught at the table. I didn't want to go in with any... I didn't want to go in there with super knowledge. I was like, well, I know how to play it. I didn't care about that. What I wanted to do is just go in kind of just, clear mind. I don't know anything. Listen to the DM explain it to me without any background noise where I'm going to, what am I doing? I'm here to learn. I don't need to be up on it. But, so in my mind, playing Horde Wars, there's hordes. And somehow we are maybe in charge of hordes. We have like hordes are minions, and I'm thinking, okay, we have hordes, and we're like, okay, here we go. We're gonna collect, like minions or servants or warriors, and we're gonna do that. Totally not what it was. We, the group, is the horde, right? So we're the horde, and one of the dynamics of one of the characters in the game has an ability to shout out orders, basically, and give directions to the rest of the group, which I think is a cool mechanic. I think that's really cool that you can shout out and that it gives us a turn, I guess, basically to do whatever the order was. And the goal of the game here was we had to go down into an undead tomb and stop a lich from... stop a necromancer from becoming a lich, right? And once again, all the combats were fun. All the combats we had some were longer, some were shorter, some were whatever, but they all had an element of fun to them. That whether it's the mechanics or whatever, or the character we were playing. In Savage Worlds, I played a robot, which was really fun because I got to be kind of a little passive aggressive robot that was like, kind of, dissing on people or whatever. So that was fun to play. That was a fun role to play within that. And so, like I said, I didn't understand Horde Wars until I started playing it, until they started to explain it. You start out very, I won't say powerful. You start out real strong as a character. My character got 2 attacks. You're what they call tier 1. And you got to attack twice. You had various abilities you could tap into. I'll say they're feats, right? There are certain feats you could tap into. And overall, I thought... Now, one of the factors in the DM diagnostic when you're judging a game, when I'm judging a DM or examining a DM, that's judging is probably too harsh. When I'm examining how a DM is running the game, one of the factors in running the game is what time of day is it, right? Is it a con game or is it a home game? Is it a what time of day when you're running this? Well, this was a late game. This was a 7 p.m. game. I say late, 7 p.m. game, a night game. And you got people that are tired. People have been there. So, the energy is a little bit off. You're playing with a bunch of people you don't know. You're trying to get to know, them in a way of how do we work together. And for me, wound up working real well together with one of the guys. Everybody did their part. Everybody did the thing. And we wound up being successful. I don't think any of my characters died in any of the games. So I don't know if that's, good or bad, but, I managed to survive. So I'm a survivor, if nothing else. I know a lot of people, judge their judge their games by how many deaths there are. And once again, I survived. And so as you can see here, a lot of the games here, the photos here, well set up. The game was run really well. DM was good. And we had an extended chat with, I want to say his name's Todd. It's probably wrong. I want to say Todd ran the game. And we had an extended chat afterwards where I kind of just shared, and he was looking for feedback. And so, I just shared with him what I thought. Once again, factors like time of day, time of the game, who's at the table, all those factors I'm putting in there. And he had some great, answers and some great, responses, and took, feedback very, very well. And so, we had a good chat afterwards, and I think I understand the game a little bit better, and I also understand, how I was running the game. And so overall, I think Horde Wars is a good game. Is it something I'm going to run? I don't know. Once again, I got to look at the system a little bit better. And Chubby is asking, how many manacles do you have to start your horde? Well, I think it depends on how many is in your horde. Do you want everybody in your horde to have manacles, or do you want, just one person to have manacles, like the lead person to have manacles, right? Yeah, Todd. Thank you, Lord Manis. Todd is his name. I can't remember his last name. DM Blackwall is his internet handle. Okay, yeah, and so once again, super guy. All these DMs friendly. All these DMs did a great job. And let's see. Joey says, I shout orders at my party members every time. They just don't listen. Well, it's because you're not playing Horde Wars. You don't have that ability, Chubby. You just don't have the ability to do so. To do that. It's just not a feat for you. And so, yeah, those are the games I play. Let me show you one last picture. That's us in the temple there defeating. There was a construct there. That was fun. In many games, and in COD games, especially when you're on a clock, if you have another game you have to play, and in a lot of games, you have to hand wave stuff, you have to truncate stuff, and I, shared that with them afterwards as well. And once again, it's just, once again, I'm not knocking anybody. Just you come in with a certain expectation of experience, and, it is what it is. Overall, good game. Good game. And then I got to meet this guy here. This guy, the Erudite DM. He's been on the channel. You've seen him here before. I've been on his channel. He's been in chats all over the place. And so it was fun to do that. I am not and I want to do just a quick, make sure I do just my little list of shout outs here. Of course, I saw Eric Tenkar and Rach were there. Lord Mattis and Gary from First Watch. DM Cloaker, also from First Watch. I don't want to forget him. He was fun to chat with. You had the Erudite DM. You had Foogly was there. Matt Sherman, Chubby Funster. I think I shook hands with Jim Kitchen. And I'm not the once again, I was there to experience the con. So I wasn't taking a lot of pictures. I wish I had taken more pictures, at least with the people, some of you folks that are in chat. I wish I had just taken more pictures with you. But I was just not, I was just not I don't know. I felt like I wasn't, being authentic then. I was like, I feel like we have to take a picture. Well, we take a picture, we take a picture. If we don't, we don't. That's fine. But that's why I have a lack of pictures, because I was really just trying to enjoy the con. Overall, yes, had a great time. Looking forward to next year. Glad to be home, by the way. Oh, let me just show you real quick. I didn't buy a lot of stuff. I'm on a budget. I don't know about anybody else. I'm on a budget. I can't just go and spend whatever I want at these things. I got people can go there and drop hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on stuff they want. And I just can't do that. So I found the one thing that I feel like would be useful to me. That's the thing. I can't buy a ton of systems. Yeah, Lord Manus, absolutely. I wish we have taken a group photo. That would have been fun. That could have been used for, all our channels and those kind of things. So Rob Connolly knows this because I sent it out in a text. But the one I said, what can I use? I don't want to buy Savage Worlds. I don't want to buy Horde Wars, books. I got enough books. I've capped myself on books. I have only so much shelf space, and so I'm kind of in the negative zone on just buying more books to fill more shelves of games I'm either going to play or not going to play. I'm just done with the collecting aspect of it. So I have to be wise and say, okay, what can I use? What is something I will look at and be a part of? Yes. Yes. Evidence. Evidence of what, Gary? Exactly. Let's be honest. What are we taking? It depends. Are we taking pictures in the bar, or are we taking pictures, as a group? What are we doing? You got, let me know. What is it evidence of? I got Harn. And I'm not a Harn guy necessarily. I'm not even close to Rob Connolly's level of Harn. There's people who love Harn. I only know about Harn because what I have seen maybe on RPG, Drive-Thru RPG, maybe I've seen something. But then I got to know more about it as I am watching, Tenkar's Tavern, Rob Connolly, other people talk about it. And so for me, it doesn't matter. Just evidence. Evidence you were there, right? In case the lawyers come. I'm telling you, I was at the con. Here's a picture of me. It's not AI. So I got Harn, and one of the reasons I got Harn is because the way Rob Connolly designed some of his stuff, the way he designs his majestic fantasy, setting and those kind of things, he kind of borrows kind of that type of basic style, or a font or whatever of style of putting together little things of how Harn kind of does it, and so inside you have two books. You have the Harn, and I got this for $15, just sitting in a box. I'm like, that's the stuff I want. Find inexpensive, cool stuff, the thing that you want, right? I could have bought a ton of modules that I'm probably never going to run for sentimental reasons or whatever. I'm becoming less and less sentimental necessarily. I don't need to have it because it's like whatever. But these here, you had the Harn, two books in there. You had the Harn View or overview of overview and use of Harn Master Module, and then you also had the Harn Dex glossary and reference for Harn Master Module. So and as you can see here, the way it's this to me is going to inform a little bit about my Kriesh place here. It's going to give me some ideas. Fantastic artwork in there. Lots of cool stuff. Lots of inspirational things that I see that are going to give me, and I, just the little notes on how much about an area, how much you can put down. I'm taking that as a model basically going forward. Because my styles can change. I don't like to say that I am stuck in one thing. I like to think that I can morph and I can do some other things. And the other reason I got it is because, well, I am a bit of a map freak. Anything with a map in it, I kind of like. And so one of the things I had that I'd looked on, I think I looked on eBay, was for a Harn map, and here is the Harn map, which is also a great example, of, I can look at that as a model for Kriesh going forward as well. One of many models, not the only model, but certainly a model that I can look at and go, okay, all right, I'm seeing what's going on here, as we begin to morph and begin to do some things. And there's Rob, packed with useful info for all medieval fantasy campaigns. Yes, I agree. And I get the smiles and the emojis. So awesome. But that is my week, guys. And by the way, just want to point out here, I believe this is the largest amount of people I've ever had on a live stream. I hate to go Joe the lawyer here. I don't like to talk about the numbers. because I just would rather just enjoy the chat and enjoy whatever. But I do want to say thank you for showing up. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for just listening to me tell my tales of the con. Lots of videos coming up. And yeah, so Rob says he got the you are poking the bear, sir. Chubby Funster, listen, you are poking the bear. Stop it. Don't be aggravating. Like I'm dealing with brothers here or something. Don't pick on your brother. Yeah, so I'm thankful. There's, like I said, most people, 24 people in here. Wow. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Be sure to click the thumbs up button if you're interested and say, hey, great vid, Paul. Once again, I'm doing my best to run a channel best way I know how, to be informative, to teach a little bit about, you know, how to run games or DM tips, those kind of things. And you guys showing up here, man, means the world to me. Means the world to me when you show up, because it just says, hey, people might care about my content, huh? How about that? Yeah. Let's see. Oh, Gotham says you have 7 on YouTube, 3 on Titter. Wow. 6 at the dining room table, 1 person in the bathroom. That's probably Joe. True. Okay. I was hoping for some salacious insider info here. I want rumors, gossip, and wild crazy. No, if you want that, I think there's other people in this chat that could give you that. In fact, I would say you probably have more salacious gossip rumors, right? Than anybody here, probably, because you're in the know. People talk to you. People like to talk to you, Chubby. They like to share things with you and other people. Other people don't share things with me. They don't go, come over here, I want to talk to you about this. Nobody shares anything with me. And, you know, I'm not a gossipy person, per se. You know, I don't like to spill the tea, as they say. Yes, DM Cloaker, so good to meet you as well, sir. Happy to see you. That will be, there we go. Great plug, Gary. For all the tea that is spilled, if you want to know everything that went on that was kind of under the table or in the back rooms, my guess is Second Watch is going to tell you all about that. Gary and Lord Mattias are going to share the tea, spill it all on Second Watch, for sure. So check them out Friday. You can check them out there. Let's see. What else? Anybody else? I know nothing. All right, guys, thank you for your time tonight. I'm going to let you guys go. I've just been chatting, but thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to, you know, if you can, if you're here on YouTube, if you're watching, be sure to click the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Check out all the resources that I have. They'll be down there. All the zines, the new DM diagnostic. If you're interested in that, I'll put that back up real quick. If you're interested, if you just came in late, I did write up a little DM diagnostic, a way to kind of measure your DM skills. There's 15 skills in there. You can kind of grade yourself on things that I think are important. You can add your own to it if you want, or you can hand out a player sheet. Most players don't care about the weeds of DMing. They just want to have fun. But if you're DMing with other DMs, they might be interested in doing that. So, you know, let's see. Matt drinks. All right. Under the table makes me remember Matt at the bar. There we go. All right, guys, have a great night, everybody. You can always get this. It's in the chat. Link to the DM Dynamics in the chat. Be in the description later on. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic night. For many of you, I'll see you back at North Texas RPG Con next year. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the chats on your channels and whatnot. So otherwise, you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one, everybody.